This is More Knowledge, More Wealth with your host, Gabriel Shahin. Gabriel is a certified financial planner and a registered investment advisor at Falcon Wealth Planning. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this broadcast and does not represent that the services or securities discussed are suitable for any investor. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the broadcast in the process of making a full informed investment decision. Now here's your host, Gabriel Shahin.
Good day. This is Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth, here on every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. My job is to go over the knowledge you need to increase your wealth. Now, to the listener, you can always reach out to myself or any one of my colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That is falconwp.com for short, where you can get this episode or any one of our previous episodes as well. And you can go on podcast, Spotify, you name it, to also get those episodes. Now, we got this knowledge center, which is really great. And you can catch that through our YouTube channel, which yet again, you can access through falconwealthplanning.com. And you can get so many great topics. And we've gotten those topics from you. You sent us messages to radio@falconwp.com or gave us a call, but that's radio@falconwp.com, and ask specific questions that we want to try to answer on air. We thought these are fantastic questions. And so we're able to record those where you can watch. And we have almost 1 million views. I feel like I've been saying that for a while. We probably have over 1 million at this point, but let's just say almost 1 million views. Now, folks, I'm the president of Falcon Wealth Planning. We are fee-only, non-commissioned, true fiduciary, folks. And we talk about all important topics of personal finance. That talks about where you are today, how retirement looks, talk about taxes, investments, insurance, estate planning. Folks, you name it. Anything that involves a dollar sign, we can help you with. That's why we're offering a free financial assessment where we can help relate this show to your specific situation. Give it 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 2 meetings of our time at no cost, folks. Give us a call. We would love to help. Our phone number, 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or we can help really answer the questions, put a customized personal assessment to you to answer the questions that you have. And it's crazy, just a lot of things that are coming up now. And it's interesting because I see, obviously, they say competition is high, right? The financial services industry, just like, by the way, any industry, you could be a jeweler in downtown, whatever, and it's a competitive industry. But in general, the financial services industry seems to be quite competitive. And it's funny because I always say, if your advisor is just managing your money, investments, really, if that's all they're doing, you're paying for the personality. Like, yeah, yes, it's important to like the person, but are they helping you? Or are they just managing your money? Have they ever looked at your taxes? Do they even know what your mortgage balance is? Do they know what you're going to get in Social Security or pension potentially? Have they ever looked at a business tax return or your benefits through your 401k provider on an annual basis through open enrollment? The answer is probably no. So what are you paying for? You're paying 1 to 2% for what? That's expensive. I actually put down a list. I'm not taking the credit here. Let's talk about NerdWallet. Investopedia does it. Forbes. They have a list. And there are firms out there that will manage your money, some of it for, quote unquote, free. You got Betterment, 0.25%. Okay, that's over $20,000. Under that, free. You could save as little as $10 a month, 0.25%. Wealthfront, same thing. Vanguard, same thing. These are all under 0.5%, folks. Even Fidelity has a cheaper robo option as well. SoFi, Stash, Acorns, Ellevest, Axios, E-Trade, Ally Investments, and Schwab. Schwab will even do it at no cost. Now, you got to use their funds and all that, but who cares? Why are you paying your advisor if they're not giving you any advice and helping you in your financial situation? I don't get it. I literally don't get it. You know, the IRS, for a simple situation, you could just go on the IRS site. They can even help you do your taxes at no cost. If it's a simple situation, I don't understand. And now I'm not saying these are free. What I'm saying is you're getting what you pay for. If you're not getting advice or any type of value from your advisor, why the hell are you paying them? Seriously, are they that cool? Are they that nice? You got $1 million paying 1%. That's $10,000 a year. if you're friends with them, how about you just take like 3,000 a year and go out every few months and cover $1,000 bill for dinner? That's a big dinner. That's a really, man, I want to be your friend. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy. I'm seeing this. If you're paying somebody $10,000 a year, they better be saving you so much time where it's equivalent to $10,000 or saving you so much money. That's why you always say rich people have advisors. Yeah, because time is money for them. They don't want to spend 10, 20, 30 hours a year potentially. I don't know. I mean, some of these investment firms out there just buy the S&P 500. It's just crazy to me. And when you look at some of the value or lack there, some of these are not even doing a tax loss harvesting. No planning. And even if they do, no goal planning. You can't talk to any humans. No chat. And even the phone access is not good. It's insane when you see some of these. No customization and not even tax efficient. Let's say you have a brokerage account. They put you in bonds, right? Because that's supposedly part of the portfolio. Well, those bonds are taxable interest, not even municipal bonds. No asset location. You literally get what you pay for. It's funny, people thought Betterment, Wealthfront, they used to call them robo-advisor, like a robot, right? Robo-advisors. We're going to end the industry for financial advisors. You know what the irony is? Not only did they not, but it became more validated why complex situations, people who need value assistance need to pay more. So thank you, robo-advisors. Great for me. It's just insane to me that I see some of these people out here that are overpaying for an advisor that's not advising a damn thing. They put you in this portfolio or this mutual fund portfolio, sell you a commission-based product, or put you in something that's 1%, it's automatic. They're not doing anything. You can go directly through a robo for a quarter of the cost. By the way, folks, if you're just joining me, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here, and every weekend talking about all important topics of personal finance. And today we are talking about the basic concepts here of just the value your advisor is offering. I mean, if you're truly going to pay somebody 1% to 2% a year, which they're out there, I get it. Our firm charges that too, depending on how much you have. But the idea is what value is being provided. If there is no value to your situation and you're not meeting with anybody, I would just go to a Betterment. I would go to a Wealthfront, a Vanguard, a Schwab. But the thing is most people out there are getting value. And you have to ask yourself, now that you should do a little checklist for yourself. And you do comparisons. How's that? I'll do maybe the top 3. For example, tax planning. Some people don't do tax planning. They DIY it. They pay money, right, through a TurboTax. Might cost them $50 to $100 depending on their situation. But they don't need an accountant to do it. Their situation is simple. So I get that. I respect that. Crazy part is there's an extreme shortage of accountants right now. Why? Because there's a lot of people with a complex situation. I'll give you 2 simple examples. A business owner, that's number 1. Number 2, people who own real estate rentals, whether it's commercial or residential. It's a little harder, more complex, takes more time. It depends on how much you make if you value time. If you're going to pay a tax professional a couple $1,000 versus $100 with a TurboTax. There are lots of people, thousands of people, potentially millions of people that use TurboTax and these other softwares as well. But the idea is it putting accountants out of business? The answer is no. So much so there is a shortage of accountants. It's actually quite an amazing profession. So tax planning is huge. Is your advisor looking at your tax return, advising it? You know how I know the answer is no. Because the advisors say, please consult with a tax advisor. Well, here at Profit Wealth, we are those tax advisors, so it's easiest to poke at the other ones. But the idea is simple. Taking a look at your situation and customizing a portfolio and a financial plan to what makes your needs priority. And sometimes your biggest expense is, in fact, taxes. It's crazy. Some people make decisions solely on their taxes, and you have to make decisions based on where you invest, how you invest, and quite frankly, how long you invest. And some people try to sell a fake dream of an insurance account that can grow tax-free. Yeah, it's tax-free if you use insurance, which means you die. But it's crazy how some people get this minutia, this Jedi mind trick of what tax planning is, when in reality, they haven't even looked at your taxes. And even if they have, if they went through your taxes, if they explain specifically how it's going to save you money, how it's going to reduce your taxable income. I already know the answer to this, folks. Ugh, just annoying. Give you another example, estate plan. There's some simple situations have gone through the LegalZoom, right? You could just do it on LegalZoom, $500, or at least it used to be. I don't know what it is anymore. Sure, that can make sense for a lot of people that just want to avoid probate. But is your advisor going over your situation, taking a look at the dynamics of your family, your kids? Maybe a dynasty trust makes sense. Maybe there's estate planning needs. Maybe there are specific things out there that is subject to probate. Just because you have a trust doesn't mean everything avoids probate. You still have to do certain things with certain accounts or properties. Just because you have LegalZoom doesn't mean anything. And their disclosures, are you really reading those? I already know the answer. You're not. Of course you're not. Nobody is. Guys, the idea is just in general, if you're not getting any value, I'm purposely looking at some of these recommendations on NerdWallet and this Investopedia, and it's just crazy that some people are paying their advisors when you can pay these people a quarter of the cost. Now, like I said, granted, you won't have any human interaction. You won't be able to communicate with anybody or call in. Definitely not certified. And by the way, certain advisors out there saying, yeah, and I got my planning software. Thank goodness for that. Well, some of them have just this Money Guide Pro. Heck, it doesn't even tell you when you're working. You have to jimmy rig the thing to say that you retire because it always says you're retired. It's crazy that a lot of advisors are using it. You know why? Because it's cheap. It's not just about goal-oriented planning. It's planning software that finds holes in your situation and makes recommendations towards that. So the big question you have to ask, are you in fact looking at value add that can save your clients, or in this case, you, money? Where you can take a look at your situation, put a customized plan together to achieve not only your goals, but find things you didn't even know existed. This is where value is added. This is why we want to offer a pre-financial assessment. See if we can find those things in your situation. These are things that you need to do, and the professionals that you're working with are just not doing it. Folks, give us a call. We would love to help. We're offering 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours at no cost, folks. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Folks, these are items that you have to look at. And we're going to go on a second segment here. So we're going to take a little break, and we're going to talk about the other values that your advisor should be doing. And I'm sorry, they should. Or we should just charge that much more for the clients that we have. They just got like the deal of a century. But you're paying your advisors 1 to 2% for what? Even if it's 0.5%, I don't care. Like the fact that you can get a better deal if you're not getting any other types of service, you have to start asking yourself, how much do you value just communicating with somebody? Okay, so we can argue there's a premium to pay for that, right? You get to vent to people. We hear that sometimes that an advisor is in fact just a version of a financial psychologist. I've been hearing that more and more. So we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about this, about the value you should be seeking from your advisor. So there's still a handful of items to discuss. But we're going to go on a quick break. We'll be right back after a few words. This is Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth. That's on every weekend. We're going over all important topics of personal finance. We're going over retirement planning, making sure you're prepared for retirement, Social Security and strategies, real estate, taxes, avoiding them now and in the future, investments, reducing fees, commissions, and so on, insurance, and estate planning. Folks, we are offering a free financial assessment that you could take advantage of. We have offices all across Southern California, including the Inland Empire. Give us a call to take advantage. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird, or visit our website, falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short. Enjoy the show. We look forward to serving you. Welcome back, folks. This is Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. Now, I talked about the first segment, and I just started picking on a bunch of robo-advisors. Now, granted, a lot of these, let me read this, doesn't do any type of tax strategy, such as tax loss harvesting or asset location, no goals based, no plans, no humans, no financial advisors, no chat feature, live chat feature, and no phone access. So you're literally getting what you paid for. It's funny that how people thought this was going to take over the industry and financial advisors would be no more. And two things happened. The advisors just did fine. And the robos realized, man, their model's not sustainable and started upping their fees. So it just validated the need that some people actually need to talk to a professional. It's not just about money management. So the question I'm asking you is your advisor just managing your money? Are they doing any other value add? Have they reviewed your estate tax or estate plan, estate docs? Have they reviewed every asset and account that you have? Have they looked in your open enrollments and the benefits to see if there's things in there that you should be taking care of, such as taking advantage of estate planning for $15 a month or having a lawyer on retainer or whatever the case may be? The thing is most people are not. Most people just get stuck. They're like, yeah, I like the person. He knows who I am. He knows my kid. He knows just everything about me. I don't want to have to re-go through that process. Some people say going through that process is therapeutic because they're able to continually talk and discuss and learn more about their situation as they're discovering it. They're finding the holes. When you're meeting with a good plan, they're uncovering certain things that you're doing that is incorrect with your current situation. So I talked about tax planning and estate planning as a good two examples when you were looking at how, by the way, that's been a commoditized business through TurboTax, which is tax preparation, not tax planning. And then estate planning, which quite frankly is just estate docs, right? Through like a LegalZoom and so on. You just get your estate docs. Doesn't title it, doesn't go to the county, doesn't put it in your name. Some of the real estate that's required to avoid probate, but not to digress, just commenting. Another thing though, business owners, like it's crazy to me to see a business owner doing their own taxes. Like God bless them. Like, I don't know, or maybe they're cursed. I have no idea. It's just to not get advice on something like that is insane. I've seen business owners lose tens of thousands on an annual basis, and in certain situations, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know what they're thinking. You think it's expensive to hire a professional? Try doing it yourself as an amateur. You'll see what expensive is. People just don't know what they don't know. And it's insane. It bothers me because you're the loser. That's the part that bothers me. Let me rephrase. Wouldn't you rather have the IRS be the legal loser? Like allowable? Like you're literally just overpaying on certain situations. And like a lot of business owners also have commingled expenses. Something as simple as meals, maybe auto or gas or cell phone or whatever the case is. That's extremely important when you retire, to figure out what the commingled amount is. This is where experience matters and talking to an advisor that actually knows what they're doing. I mean, talking about business owners, let alone people who have rentals or assets, especially if you haven't paid off home. How about liability protection? How about getting sued? How about if you have a minor driving still in your name? What do you do? What type of protection should you have there? They were, God forbid, to get in an accident. How about just the simple logic of unnecessarily paying off debt? I had somebody with a 6.5% mortgage that was, now this person makes a lot of money. They're only saving about 7% of their paycheck. Yet they're putting an extra 10% of what they make gross to pay down the mortgage. Now their their tax rate is pretty high. So that 6.5% is more like 3.75 from an after-tax point of view because they're able to write it off. And oh, by the way, they'd be able to save another 40% on federal and state taxes, over 40%, if they maxed out their retirement accounts, which, oh, by the way, they're not. Like that simple logic on a compounding effect over 30 years, because that's how long the mortgage is hundreds of thousands of savings. And in that specific situation was millions of dollars. And oh, by the way, that home in 30 years, regardless, is paid off. But instead of having $500,000, they would have millions of dollars because they properly know how to invest the money and where to put it. Not just saying, I don't want debt, let's pay off my house. Why? So you're house rich and cash poor just to do a reverse mortgage in the nick of time when you're running out of money? Crazy. This is the value that needs to be discussed. Not just having an advisor saying, invest with me because I want to manage your money and charge you a fee, but showing you talk is cheap. And some of the biggest firms investment firms, RIA firms, registered investment advisors, people who call themselves fiduciaries, people who say they do planning won't even show it to you. They're just talking. It's crazy. Or they'll show you what, a Money Guy Pro. I feel bad. I feel like I'm bashing Money Guy Pro. It's just not as good as the software that's out there. The other part to this is, and this is part that even the advisors, we have actually quite a handful of advisors that listen to us, which is great. That's what our numbers show, what it reports, and I appreciate that. It's makes me feel good about ourselves that I'm able to help not just individuals but also advisors. And so it's the value of talking somebody off a cliff. I mean, the advisors know what I'm talking about. You're going to get a client for life. Like, you manage your own money. It's emotional. I know it because I managed my money for a while. Hell, I have a play account. I call it my Vegas account. 85%, actually more like 95% of my money is managed through my company. But I got this maybe 5-7% that I just play with. And it's funny how much unnecessary time I give to that thing. It's emotional. And I swear, if I ever want a stock to go down, you know what I have to do? I just buy the damn thing. And if I need it to go up, you know what I have to do? If I want the stock to go up and I own it, I just have to sell it. Or I have to think about buying it because then it'll keep going up. But if I buy it, because the world revolves around us, right? When we buy it, the stock drops. You know how it works. But it's funny how that works. That's the whole psychology of investing. And that's what a Nobel Prize was given for couple years back. By the way, folks, if you're just joining me, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner, your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here, and every weekend talking about all important topics of personal finance. And I'm just talking about the value that your advisor is giving you. And this can't be just investments. Even though this last part of psychology and just talking you off the cliff for wanting to go all cash when the market's low, when in reality, if you have extra money, you should be buying, right? And it depends. If your advisor is buying you some individual stock or just a really aggressive fund, like that could implode. We've seen it before. That's the benefit of being in this industry for a while. I get it. But that's where you have to assess your situation. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't look to double and triple your money in a few years through these tech stocks, but then be upset when they're down 40, 50, 60, or look at Peloton, $2 a share. You got Lucid Motors. I mean, some of these companies are on the brink of collapse. You can't be upset about that. You can't have it both ways, which is why I have the Vegas account, this is crazy what I'm about to say. You would think taking a risk, and me as a professional, I would do very well. And even though I have winners in the portfolio, man, I got some losers. So much so where I can't even beat my core portfolio, which my core portfolio is pretty much index investing. Now, I don't have much bonds in that portfolio. I don't, because I don't care. Because I don't need stability right now. I'm still making money and working. So I'm growth focused. They're all in stocks, 100%, quite frankly. And so the idea is that it's just interesting when you talk to somebody, you talk to a professional, myself as a professional, where I've underperformed and I'm the pro. And people look at their investment. I tripled my money. Yeah, but you bought it in 2001. Did you really triple it? It's been almost 25 years. It's just kind of crazy to me sometimes when I have these conversations with people. This is why we're offering a free financial assessment. To take a look at your situation, to compare it to how the market has done or a globally diversified portfolio, and just seeing what could you have done better. Because your buy and hold strategy, your strategy of you could do it on your own. Your strategy is taking a look and saying, nope, I'm always going to get ripped off, so I'm just going to do it on my own because I'm going to be fine. I'm going to do my own taxes, do my own estate planning, do my own investing. Better look at how much money I saved. Sometimes saving $10,000 to $15,000 a year. And by the way, it might not be something that you're putting on a credit card or writing a check. It comes out of the return most of the time. But you might be thinking, man, that's 1% to 2% a year, even 0.5% a year. I get it. That could be some of the most expensive decisions of your life. You can't afford to mess up. A mess up, you got to talk to your spouse about what you did. How you squander the money just on what? Investing on Tesla down 40%? Like, take a look and reassess your situation and make sure, what do you need? What's the rate of return you actually need to get to your goal? And assuming goal is retirement or financial stability. or whatever the financial decision that you have coming up. Because what I see is people make the wrong decision often, and it's an emotional thing. We're offering a pre-financial assessment, folks. 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours. Give us a call. Our phone number, 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird, or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for sure. And we got offices all over, folks. It doesn't matter where you're located. We're headquartered here in Southern California, which is great. But the idea is that your situation is not just unique to you in the Midwest or the Northeast or the Southeast or the Northwest or whatever you are. It's unique to everybody. I understand there's estate planning differences, tax law differences, everything, just the cultural differences. I get that. We got people in those areas that can help you with that. But the idea is people are people. They make the same mistakes. And I say it all the time. When a lawyer gets in trouble, do they represent themselves in court? No. Hire another attorney. Because it's too emotional, right? The surgeon typically doesn't operate on their child. And people managing their money rarely do it themselves. It's too emotional. They see the ups and downs and it affects them. I'm recommending you to take a look at your situation and reassess. And if nothing else, 2 pieces of value. Number 1, take a look at your portfolio and see where you're at and see where the holes are. And number 2, see what value from a financial planning point of view, because you probably had people assess your portfolio before. All they're going to say is sell all that and invest in what we have you invested in because it's going to make you more money. Have they ever shown you proof of that? Number 1. And number 2, anybody could dissect a portfolio and find a hole. Anybody, even in the best portfolio, because it's subjective. It really, really is. What's good today may not be good tomorrow. Folks, that's all I have for you this weekend. I appreciate you tuning in with me. Feel free to reach out to myself or any one of my colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short, where you can get this episode to any one of our episodes as well. And visit our knowledge center that sends you to YouTube. Just look up Falcon Wealth Planning. We got so many different segments on there, different strategies over there, which has really been a big hit. Hence why we have almost 1 million views on there, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Feel free to reach out to any one of my colleagues. We'd love to help relate this show to your specific situation. Folks, have a fantastic week. Have a great weekend, and God bless.